Hey guys, Roxy Sims here and welcome to my speed build. Today I am building a rec center, but not just any old rec center. I am really focusing on the family gameplay with this, and I'm turning this into kind of like a children's learning / educational center. It's definitely recreational as well though. It's got a lot of fun things to do in it, but you can learn too. So yes, I've just tried to focus on the family with this one. This was really fun to build because I don't typically get to go this wild with it. I went for like a very modern look for the exterior, and then I just kind of went wild with the inside. And I'm basing this off of these kinds of places that I have seen in real life, because I've gone to some museums, some like more adult focused museums, and a lot of times they'll have a children's education center nearby, and it's kind of like an interactive museum for kids, and that's definitely what I was going for. I don't want it only to be for kids though. I was definitely thinking that, having the parents come with, having the older siblings like teens come with, having the grandparents come with, I wanted it to be like a full family experience. I also wanted this place to be very special, so I put this grand entrance that's coming up to it from every direction. So you have just the staircase going up, so it's kind of elevated a little bit. Yeah, I just wanted it to be very grand, to be very big, be very noticeable, because that's definitely reminds me of all of the places like this that I've seen in real life. You can't miss them, They are special and they have their moments, so I wanted to give this place that as well. And I wanted this place to match the buildings that are around it. So the buildings around it have this kind of white, modern-ish tile kind of thing going on. So I put that on this building, but I also wanted to make it stand out from the rest. I wanted it to be obvious that this was like a fun place for kids to hang out. So on this like diagonal tower kind of section, I put this awesome triangle, colorful kind of wallpaper on it. I love this wallpaper, and I finally have an excuse to use it, so I had to take it. I put in just about every single thing that was fun for kids or toddlers or infants to do in this place that I possibly could. Anything that made sense, I put it in. So I have a bunch of different play areas. I have this whole science-y kind of section of the building. I think I like that place the most, but it's hard to decide. That has a rocket, and it has that like rocket play area that kids can play on, and then it's got the chemistry tables and lots of little science-y displays. I have an aquarium type area. That one was so fun to build. I put in that new whale that comes with the splash pad thing. It's like Whalebert, which is so cute. I had to fit him in here somewhere. I have an art area with activity tables and knitting and cross-stitching, and you can make friendship bracelets. What else? I have like a reading area where I have like doll houses around the place. I have, in the aquarium area, I have like a pirate ship that the kids can play on. It's hard to think of all the different things that I have everywhere because there's just so many different things. I have like a ball pit play area. I have a lot of different game tables everywhere. Well, I have that block table, and then I put the new game tables so you can do puzzles and that new game symbols and cards and Don't Wake the Llama. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I have telescopes in that science-y section that I was talking about, and then the music section, I have some instruments for the kids to play, and some dance floors, and a puppet show little area. I forgot the exact name of that item, but you know what I'm talking about, the puppet show thing. I have a little section just for the infants, if the infants need a more quiet place to maybe wind down, and like a little section that, they can do like feed the infants or breastfeed or whatever. And then I also just have like a cafeteria type area. I wanted to make sure that you could stay here for a very long time and you have all of your needs covered. So I think I have everything that you would need for quite a while. I'm probably forgetting something because there's just so many different areas and so many things in this. But don't you worry, I'll be reminded whenever we actually get into the decorating of these rooms. So this rec center is obviously very kid-based, but don't you worry, I am going to make a more like everybody based, maybe a little bit more adult kind of rec center. And I think I'm going to put that where the library currently is. Because a rec center is pretty much just like a better library, don't you think? It's basically just a library with way more things to do. And I am kind of resistant to building libraries and bars and museums. Any lot that came with base game, besides residential, of course, I just have something against them. And it's like some sort of mental block where I'm like, they're too boring, and they're not really. Like, a library has a really good purpose in this game, but I almost just can't bring myself to make one. I think it's just because it came in base game, in that I've been having to build them since, what was it, 2014? Is that right? So it's just been a long time. And so the fact that a rec center is pretty much just a library with more stuff to do, I'm going to choose that. Oh, and gyms. Gyms, this rec center pretty much is a gym as well. So yeah, I'm just really glad that we have rec centers now, because I can build things that have the function of a library or a museum or a gym, but not have to build one of those things. Am I weird for that? I don't know, but it's just how my brain is working at the moment. So yeah, I'm thankful for it. I could see myself building a lot of rec centers for a lot of the other worlds. I've actually already built something kind of like a rec center in Oasis Springs. I put it as the lot type of park, but rec center is going to just work so much better for that. It's pretty much exactly, I think maybe I could add some like workout area, because I do have like a basketball court for that, but I think it requires actual workout equipment, so like the weights thing and a treadmill, so I think I could add that and pretty much just have automatically another rec center. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably know that I don't play The Sims all that often, but I do like to test things out and just see how the different lot types function, because even though I'm not playing with it very much, I like making builds that are very useful for people who do play a lot. So I want to make sure that I'm putting the best lot type for the build that I'm making, and just so that it functions in the best way that it possibly can. So I haven't got to play with this yet, but I'm definitely going to try it out when I can. I've just been building so much though, so I haven't got an opportunity to try it out yet. If you've had an opportunity to try out rec centers though, let me know what you're thinking about it, because I won't have time to try them out for quite a while, and I really want to know. Do you like them? Do you think they function well? What kind of Sims come to them? I'm just very curious. Oh yeah, here's the first thing that I forgot to mention whenever I was describing everything that was in this build. I have a little play area, an outdoor playground area. And since I am trying to make San Sequoia feel a bit more like a city, I wanted there to be a lot of concrete, because it's just a thing in cities. There's a lot of concrete, but I didn't want to ignore the landscaping completely. So I have these kind of rounded planters on each corner of the lot, and I really like how they turned out. I didn't want them to look like your garden in a house. I wanted it to look kind of institutionalized. Do you know what I mean? Everything has its own area and it's symmetrical, but I love those purple plants. Since I have some purple in the wallpaper like this, I'll take any opportunity to add some purple to the landscaping. And those particular plants, I think they came with the vampire pack. I just love them. Building this has actually made me really want to go to like a museum or like an educational center or something like this. I want to take my kid to the one, so I think we're gonna actually go tomorrow. I'm excited. It's kind of far away, but totally worth it. Oh, hey, I wanted to explain what I'm doing here. So this area is the section that I'm putting those telescopes, and those telescopes can only be used outdoors. But I didn't want to just put them outdoors. I didn't feel like that made a lot of sense. I don't think a place like this would put some expensive telescopes just outside for anyone to take. So I had this idea to make kind of an enclosure with those, they're like floor panels, and they're clear, and they came with the Island Living pack. And so I used Tool Mod to turn them on their side and made like this little enclosure. But the game thinks that it is outside, so it looks like it's inside, but it functions like it's outside. And I don't love that those can only function on the outside. Couldn't telescopes function on the inside of a building in Sims 3? I could be misremembering, and because it's been a long time since I played Sims 3, but I feel like they could. So I don't really love that they're only functional outside, but yeah, it is what it is. So I had to make sure that you could actually use them. We are moving on to the inside, which is where the real fun begins, in my opinion. I had the most fun building the inside of this place. Sometimes a build is way more fun to build the exterior, and then I'm like, oh, now I gotta decorate everything inside. But it was the opposite for this. I was like, oh, I gotta make the outside so I could so I could really decorate the inside and put all the cool, fun things that I wanted to in this place. Isn't this wall decal just the most perfect thing for this kind of build that you've ever seen? It's the most perfect children's education center wall decal ever. And it came with this pack. Did it come with this pack? Actually, don't quote me on that. I can't remember if it came in this pack or if it came in the free update. Yeah, but that one too that I just placed, just chef's kiss for this build. And we are getting ready to move on to the science area, and I get to use this carpet in here. It came with the pastel pop kit. Is that the name of that kit? I can never remember the name of it, but this carpet is just the most perfect. I love the carpet. It's crazy and out there, but it's just right for it. I also want to use it for like an arcade or a skating rink or a movie theater. There are so many places where this carpet would be perfect. And since I just placed down that rocket, let me tell you a little bit about it. So I had a sim pre-build that, and unfortunately it sucks, but those rockets do not transfer over from the gallery. So if you'd like to use this build and you download it, you will have to have your sim build that. It's quite unfortunate, but that's just for some reason how it works. And so you could just click on it. I did make it accessible. And if you click on the rocket pad, sometimes your sim has like a little bit of a problem building it. As we all know, sims can be quite finicky. So the solution I found to that is if you just click on the ground next to the rocket pad, tell them to go down there, then they have no problem building it. So yeah, just a little workaround if your sim's having any trouble building it. And I did test it a few times. I wanted to make sure that it really works. Oh yeah, and there is a couple things in this room that are better whenever you turn them on. So there are things that came in, I think it's from the Get to Work pack, and it's like an orbital thing, and then there's like a solar system projection thing, and then there's one of those, I think they call them in real life like a plasma ball or a plasma lamp. It's one of those like electrical type things you put your hand on, and then the electricity goes to your hand. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I don't know the actual names of them in the game, but you basically just go to every countertop section and check to see if there's something that you can turn on, and that way it like looks the coolest whenever you go in there. When I was thinking about building like a children's learning center, I looked at lots of pictures. I always go to Google and just see, what kind of style the things are in. This room right here is so common in pretty much every place that I saw online. The whole nature theme, very, very common. So I had to have it in this. Oh, and this wall that I'm making, I'm using those panels again from the Island Living pack. And I just wanted to mention that those actually kind of take a lot of like computing power, I guess you would say. And so if this build is a little bit too much for your computer to handle, which, it could be possible because it is quite large. It's 64 by 64. There's a lot of stuff to do in it. So if you just need it to run a little bit better, I would suggest taking out that wall. I think that wall or any of those panels, like you could take out the ones that are in the entryway as well. because those seem to be the hardest for the Sims to deal with, for the game to deal with. And so those things would probably be like the least important, I guess. They don't really have a function. They're just for decoration. And I feel like those things would give you just the most like bang for your buck. You know what I mean? Like you would have to delete the least amount to get the best boost of performance. So yeah, so if you need to, that is what I would suggest. And here we are in the aquarium area. And yes, I do have actual fish that are going in this aquarium. So all you have to do on that is you just take, there's this one really big fish tank. I think it's from Dine Out, but I could be wrong about that. But you just fill that with fish and then you size it down and then you can place it in a pool so that there's actual fish swimming around. I don't think that the fish actually transfer over from the gallery as well. So I did leave them kind of like discoverable. So whenever I size them down, all you have to do is I put them where you could reach them. So you just grab them, take them out, and then you can just have your sim fill them with fish and then put them right back where you got them. So you don't have to do that, but if you want the look of actual fish swimming around, that's what you do. And pretty soon you'll be able to see where I put Wilbert. That's just the cutest name ever. So I've already actually made a water park, but with all the new splash pad stuff, I'm thinking that I really just I either have to add those things to the water park that I've already made or make another one. I'm not sure. I don't know what I want to do, but I have to put them in a build somewhere. Because Wilbur is supposed to go in a splash pad area, but he's really functioning as just a fountain in this build. So I gotta make it an actual splash pad area. Do you see those dark shadows there in that corner? There is this infuriating bug, and I'm serious, it plagues me so often. It is where if you have some platforms on a lower floor, and then you build a floor above it, there's sometimes these crazy shadows that sometimes you can kind of hide and get rid of if you place a light fixture in the perfect area, but a lot of times you can't get rid of it at all. And I really, really hate it because these shadows, that is whenever I've like that dark shadow back there, I've already kind of fixed it with some light fixtures. But before I put those light fixtures, it is super dark, like a really, really dark shadow that looks crazy. And sometimes it's in these like weird shapes. So you'll have like a zigzag or, a couple of boxes of just a really dark shadow. It's terrible. It's terrible to have to work with. Sometimes I just have to scrap the whole idea. I'm like, well, I can't have this platform down here because it completely ruins what I'm trying to do in the floor above it. So that is something that I desperately hope that they fix. And there's a lot of things with rounded rooms that I wish they could fix. Like on the exterior, I have those rounded planter platforms, and I cannot put a flooring underneath those platforms. I just had to put like terrain paint, because if you put a flooring next to it, it does this weird thing where the flooring kind of comes up, and it just looks really weird. So there's a lot of things that could be improved, and hopefully that's on their list. Here we're moving on to the music room, and the music room is actually the thing that gave me the most trouble. I could not for the life of me think of what kind of theme that I wanted to go with for this room, and I was like, what do kids like? I don't know. I was like, well, they like dinosaurs. Maybe I could just like put dinosaurs and music together. I don't know. And then look at this poster. Look at this, like, it's like a height chart that came. It's like, it's new. And I was like, it's a dinosaur and music together. So even though it's almost like I planned it, like I had saw this poster before and then decided that music and dinosaurs go together, but I just couldn't figure out anything that would go with music, and I decided on dinosaurs. And then I just also got like really lucky that I finally found that poster. So it all worked out in the end. I am really hoping that one day we just get a band pack. I miss that so much from Sims 3. I loved making my own band. I want drums. I just want more musical instruments and more things to actually do with it, you know? That'd be so awesome to be able to just like jam together. Yeah, I am desperate for that. I think they will eventually give us that. I really, really do. I think that, and then hotels, and then horses. I think they just have to give us those things, and we have years left, so might as well. We're moving on to the cafeteria area, and I have a little cafeteria cart thing, but I also put pretty much a full kitchen just in case you want to make your own food there. I also do have a bathroom with a bathtub and a shower. This lot type requires a shower. I know it seems pretty weird, but I wanted to have a bathtub and a shower and a place to eat, like I said earlier, just to make sure that you have everything you need so that you can stay here for quite a long time. I also forgot that I put vending machines in here as well, so you have that option too. I was wondering though, do vending machines ever work? Every time, like when I was testing this out, and every other time that I have a sim test out vending machines, never work. All the food is always stuck. So I'm almost like, what is the point of these? And then I'm scared to shake it because I don't want my sim to die, you know? So that's just the life of a sim, I guess. And now we are moving on to the infant area. So if you need a quiet place for your infants to play, or to take them to nap, or to feed them, or to change them, you can do that in here. And then we are pretty much finished with this video. I just want to thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. As always, this build will be uploaded to the gallery so you can download it from there. But if you need the tray files or if you just like to support the channel, you can do that on my Patreon page, which I will have linked down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will talk to you all again in the next one. Bye everybody!